Greetings and welcome to the next Fight Life Nation podcast. We are here today with Luis Moreno. He's fighting tomorrow on Fighters Rep, or he's fighting on February 18th on Fighters Rep 12. Luis, how you doing?
Good, brother. Good to have you.
Oh, that's good to hear. I'm not sure if something's wrong, but you're coming in very low, like
Very
very
low
low volume.
on the volume. Let me see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to be right there. Then, can you hear me now?
All right, and then no worries. Yeah, don't worry about it. It's probably just on this side. I'm using the computer speakers. I'll let you know if anything happens.
For sure.
Um, so let's get right into it. I interviewed you for Fighters Rep last week at the gym. I'll be honest, man. I get super uncomfortable talking on those when I'm holding the camera. I feel like I'm interrogating people. So I really wanted to change formats, and I wanted to get behind. I could sit at my house and I can always like if anything goes wrong, I can close the computer and I don't see anything. Like everything goes wrong. But nah, I wanted to talk to you and get a little bit more in depth. Tell us about how you decided to get into fighting. Before we get into Fighters Rep 12, where you'll be at, how did you get into fighting?
Fighting. I don't know, man. I was always really sporty growing up. I liked soccer and like football and all this stuff. I always wanted to be an athlete. You know what I mean? Um, I guess just the idea of it being on me, not having to worry about like on a team, like you gotta worry about your teammate covering his spot or him doing what he has to do. Fighting, it was always like it's on me. If I mess up, like I know where I have to fix it, and I can fix it, and I can come back, and I can do better. You know what I mean? So it was always it just became like it's a test to myself, and I get to prove to myself through the training, and I get to see it all. And when it comes together in the fight, man, it's one of those feelings where it's just like this is why I did it. You know what I mean? It all makes sense. It just made more sense to me to fight, and if I'm gonna have to if I'm gonna have to worry about something, I can handle it myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you mentioned to me that you started out, you got into grappling, right?
Mm-hmm.
You said you're a black belt, man. How long have you been grappling?
Been grappling since I was 15, so going on 12 years. Yeah.
Oh wow, man. What made you get into that?
Low key, I wanted MMA. Like I had seen Anderson Silva fight a couple times on like the UFC Unleashed, and I just wanted. I heard jiu-jitsu thrown around. I heard Muay Thai thrown around. I kind of thought jiu-jitsu was a little more striking. You know what I mean? Like I'd be able
Yeah,
to
same.
punch. So I came into a gym and everybody's wearing a gi. I didn't, don't understand exactly what's going on, but I was like, is this going to help me to my potential fighting career? And the guy, and my instructor at the time was like, yeah, definitely. If you want to fight MMA, if even grappling, like striking, like this will help you get in good spots for it. You know what I mean? So I was like, hell yeah, I'll do it. And I just kind of focused on the grappling for a little bit about it. And, but I always thought I wanted. I came into the gym thinking like, oh, I'd be able to punch. Thinking I could do like knees and stuff. But no. But I always wanted to do striking. You know what I mean?
Where did you first train?
Soriano BJJ in San Pedro.
Okay. How'd you find them? Was that just like when you wanted to train, you looked up a gym near you, or?
Yeah, honestly, like like cool. It's local. I can train, and it worked out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's awesome, man. So okay, so then you got into grappling, you got heavy into it. When did you decide? Okay, I think it's time to start incorporating some striking.
When around the time, so like 5 years into grappling, I was like, okay, now I got enough time. I can start making the transition. You know what I mean? I had boxed a little bit, but I was doing when I first started jujitsu, I was doing boxing like a couple times a week and then jujitsu, but like I didn't feel like I was getting good at either. You know what I mean? I feel like I had to like really just apply myself to one or the other, and I chose jujitsu in that time. So I got a little better, and then around like I said, 5 years in, one of the students at my gym was like a kickboxing Muay Thai coach. So I started training with him for a little bit. His name was Matt Herrera. It was my first few fights, and he got me going, man. We won our first two, lost our last one, and then I kind of stopped. And then I met up with Rage at Blackhouse. You know what I mean? And that's how
Yeah.
that's how we all came to pass.
That's awesome, man. What's it like training with Rage?
It's I like it, man. Like the way we train is very specific. Like we have our own style, definitely. So like we know like sometimes we'll talk and like if someone were to come in, like they're not probably not gonna understand where we're going with what we're talking about. You know what I mean? But we talk. He's more like the philosophy of fight. Like we have this philosophy of going out there trying to kill, trying to finish our opponents. Because at the end of the day, it's what a fight is. You know what I mean? Engage your
Right.
rage, and use your aggression and your these abilities that are given to you, like just like natural, like that you have, that everybody has, and use it to the best way in the fight, and working our way into those positions to really utilize and go all out for the kill. You know what I mean?
That's awesome, man. And you also have a conditioning coach, right? Coach Mathias, is that his name?
Yes, Mathias.
Can you tell us a little bit about working with him?
Yeah, man. Well, he's more into rugby. He's rugby based, but he talks about training with Olympians. So I feel like what I do with him is like Olympic stuff. You know what I mean? Olympic weightlifting. There's like he's really into sprints. He gets us, our cardio up. It's I feel like it's top notch. You know what I mean? Like maybe
Right.
it's I don't know what, but he gets me going, man. It's gotten me in shape. I wouldn't have never made 155 without them.
Dude, it's interesting that you said he's into rugby. Joshua Shibata, the ring announcer for Fighters Rep, he just started a rugby channel. He's all about
Really?
rugby. Dude, it's a trip. I didn't think he I don't want to like put people in a box. It's just you don't, I don't know nothing about rugby, but he's got his own channel. He's really into it. He I follow him on Instagram, and his regular thing he likes to post where he's at the like I guess it's like a sports bar where they show all the shows. He's really into rugby. So when you
Wow.
mentioned your coach being into rugby, that's pretty neat. That's a
Yeah,
rough
man.
sport, man.
It's a tough sport, but I mean, it kind of makes sense. It's like football and running, and it's all of it. It's like hard contact and hard conditioning. It's what we do. You know what I mean? Kind of
Yeah.
makes sense.
There was a recent meme I saw where this girl she's running and she spits out blood, and she's a rugby player. She spits out blood and her nose is all bleeding, and then it goes, "Oh, I'm sorry about all my soccer guys," and it has Ronaldo. He gets like tapped on the shoulder and he falls down and he faints an injury. But all right, man. So you're fighting on for Fighters Rep. You fought there before in August. How did that go, man? Like I know we all know how it goes when you fought Jonathan Montoya, but how was that for you training for that, getting ready for that?
It was good, man. I liked it. It was at the time. It was more about let's get it going. It had been a while since I had fought, and I knew going in it was going to be a tough fight. You know what I mean? And it went like I said in our interview before. It went like how it needed to go. Like it was at the time I probably needed to be doing a little more to get myself in there, or maybe it was just I needed to test myself at the time. You know what I mean? But it was definitely a good test. It was an experience I haven't had before. I've never been finished before like that, and I learned a lot from it. So I think it was good. I think it was necessary. I definitely learned a lot from the fight, and I'm excited to bounce back off of that and come into this next fight with a little, knowing that like my last fight went the way it went already, and it kind of gives me no pressure. Like just go in there, last fight was last fight. Well, let's go after it this time again.
That's awesome, man. So that was all the way back in August. This is what is it like 5 months later? Because
Yeah, just
February,
about.
just about. How busy do you like to be? Like, do you want to try and stay busy this year?
This year I'd like to, yeah, keep the weight off too. You know what I mean? It's just another reason for it. And I know Fighters Rep has like 4 or 5 events this year. I'm honestly trying to be on all of them if I can.
Yeah, I noticed you were significantly thinner
Yeah,
this open workout than you were the last open workout. The last open workout you
yeah,
looked really
man.
thick, and then fight night, uh, on weigh-in day at least, because I'm always there the weigh-in day. You look kind of drained. Not that you were drained, but you look a lot significantly thinner. Now it looks like you're gonna make the weight pretty easy.
No, yeah. Now it's just a matter of like a little bit of a cut. Last time I kind of cut a lot. This was my first time doing something like that too. You know what I mean? So I wasn't used to it. and maybe it had a little bit to do with the fight, but you got 24 hours to recover, so I don't
Right.
feel like it was too bad. But it was definitely another experience that I had never gone through before, and like I said, it went the way it needed to go. Now I know. I just feel like I've gained a lot of wisdom. I've gone through it, and this time around, I know what I'm getting into, and it'll be good.
All right. Before we go on, I just want to mention that if you go to fightersrep.com, you go to buy your tickets and you mention Luis Moreno and the tickets or who you came to see, he does get credit for those tickets. So go to fightersrep.com, mention Luis Moreno. You can also you can join the YouTube live stream for Fighters Rep, and you can watch it for $9.99. That's less than the price of a Big Mac. You'll support the fighters.
Yeah,
You go stay home and have spaghetti, man. That'd be a good way to support the fighters. I'm a big fan of Fighters Rep. Uh, Lewis, before I was thinking about you're gonna be in another scrap. The guy you're facing, do you know anything about him?
not necessarily. I know he's an MMA guy. I've watched a couple of his fights on YouTube, because they're up there. That's about it, though. I don't know much else other than that.
That's awesome. At this level, it really doesn't really matter about the other opponents, right? Because it could be almost anybody at this level, right?
Yeah, and some of the like it doesn't matter, and who knows when those fights were. You know what I mean? So it doesn't matter, man. We'll meet each other there, and I'll analyze what I need to analyze. I'll take in whatever data I need to get, and then I'll process it and I'll make it happen right there on the spot. You know what I mean?
That's awesome, man. So for those that don't know, today is Saturday. It's February 12th. Tonight's the UFC. You gonna be watching the UFC tonight?
Yes, sir. Adesanya and Whitaker, man.
Yeah, man. I look forward to that. Who are you picking tonight?
Ah, a big part of me. I like Robert Whitaker a lot, man, but Adesanya is who he is. You know what I mean? His flow is just the way he strikes, man. It's very different to a lot of these guys in that division, and I feel like Robert Whitaker is still very much kind of the same person he was that last time round. His style is it's very dart in and get out, and it's worked on the last three fights. He's got him his 3-fight win streak, but I don't know, man. I just think Adesanya, like the way he knocked him out last time was when he was charging in and charging out. Um, I say Robert Whitaker wrestles, and it's gonna make it a lot more interesting. But I like Adesanya regardless of how that goes. I think I pick on this Adesanya.
Yeah, dude. It's hard to imagine a guy getting that beat up in that fight
Uh
and,
huh.
and coming back and doing great. But Robert Whitaker's a pretty special fighter. I can't wait to watch that. I was telling George, man, I went to UFC 270. I saw Francis Ngannou and Gon, and I really feel, and I may be making more out of it because I'm there and I'm part of the crew. I think Fighters Rep shows are more better for your value of your dollar if you're gonna go watch a Fighters Rep show, because the kickboxing is just as action packed as a UFC event, and the beer is
Yeah.
cheaper. You're gonna have way better seats, man. I was up in the rafters.
And
Uh,
we're
uh,
hungry, UFC, it's pros. They're already there. Like we are fighting to get there. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
yeah, we go after it, bro.
yeah, man. I can't wait. Before we get going, I'll let you get going. Is there anything you want to say to the people who are going to be watching? What can they expect on February
Just
12th, Fighters Up 12, or February
violence,
18th?
man. February 18th, violence, man. We go for the kill. Our division is there to win always, and I, me personally, just expect violence. Expect the unexpected.
Dude, I super appreciate you being here. Thank you, Lewis, for joining us. Thank
Thank
you. I
you,
can't wait to see your fight.
no
Stay
worries,
tuned to
man.
Fight Life Nation. We'll have picks from the fight. Well, also, if you follow fightersrep.com, there's going to be picks there. Fighters Rep on the Facebook and Instagram. Join the YouTube channel for Fighters Rep because you're going to be able to support the fighters and you're going to be able to watch the stream live if you can't make it. Thank you, Lewis. It was great talking to you, big dog.
Thank you, Marco. Follow Fight Life Nation, man. Best, dude. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. All right, take care, my man.
You too.
Thanks, brother.
Hey, no worries, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right, man. Thank you very much. I'll talk to you later. I'll see you at
Sounds
weigh-ins.
good.